What up, dogs? It's your host for another fireside chat, Mike Mason. Guys, I'm so excited. We have a giveaway tonight. We're going to give away a torch level ticket to East Coast Melt. I know a lot of you guys have entered. If you haven't, hit that donation link in the video description. We got an awesome demo with Flame Princess. Drew Kups is here, very special guest to talk about some very special things. Let me introduce everybody who's here with us before we start talking about all those things and watching cool stuffs. My co-host here, Carrie. Tell them where you're at, who you are.
Cheers. My name is Carrie Strope. I'm a glass artist, but just a little bit on the torch, mostly with cutting glass and teaching classes and all of that stuff. But helping Mike with a little bit of this filming and stuff. And I think this is one that I filmed of Heather. Thank you, Heather, for letting me stick a camera on you at Melt last year.
Yeah, let's hand it over to Heather, aka Flame Princess.
Hi. My name's Heather, and I'm in Southern California, and this was my Melt demo featuring like the North Star pomegranate challenge that they gave us to do while we were at Melt. So super fun video to make. Love everyone there, and super excited to be here today.
Aw, fuck yeah. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. And also joining us, Drew Kups, somebody I have tremendous respect for, man. Just tell him what's up, baby.
Hey, my name is Drew Kups. I'm from Detroit. We do the project. We kick a bunch of ass, and we love all y'all.
Fuck yeah. Excellent. Cheers, man. Well, hell yeah. Guys, we have, like I said, a very special giveaway later, and I want to talk about this very quickly because we'll talk about it later after we pick somebody to get to go to East Coast Melt, the torch level ticket. This is a summer camp for glass blowers. If you're not familiar, it's a super special time. Guys, these are the details. So I think most of you guys are already familiar, but if you're not, please use the link at the bottom there. It's in the video description. It's not any government tracking or anything. It just takes you to a campaign where Tony Robbins is also like doubling the meals. So it's basically helping increase your reach there. Every $5 is a chance to win a ticket to this incredible event. This is an $1,100 value. And yeah, man, what a cool thing to be able to win for just helping people who need something to eat. So yeah, and guys, I'm very, very, very stoked to announce that we are over 25,000 meals generated on this. Excuse me. We did 17,000 in 2017 and then 18 in 2018. So to do 25,000 this year is just fucking huge. A huge shout out to everybody who supported this. One of you guys is going to get to go to Melt. I cannot wait to find out who. Oh, excuse me. Everybody on that list is cool as fuck, so I'm just like, yeah. And yeah, so that's really, I didn't want to take too long on that, especially when we have, like I said, a very special guest, Drew. Now, not just with this project stuff, many of you guys have already learned from him. If you're not even, you might not connect the dots, but there's an amazing document about fuming. It's in the Torch Talk documents that Drew shared. And this is like almost like the Bible of fuming. Really great critical information that he compiled, and he's an educator on that note. So I don't want to escape the fact that this is an artist of, really caliber and understanding. But also, he works with the Michigan Glass Project, which has done tremendous impact. I'm proud of what we do here, but we're talking like literally like 100 times the impact. Like this is something beautiful and incredible, and they do it with love. I don't want to put the word. I'll let the man speak for himself, but I did just want to give you guys a little premise. This is an incredible project that helps put art in schools. It's incredible. They have a documentary, and I want to show you guys a bit about that. I think this is something we should really support because it puts us in the most positive of lights. Like, this is what, like, we don't need everybody to see, like, a reality show of us fighting with each other. You know what I mean? Like, what we need people to see is how what we do is done and put forward, and paying this thing forward with love. So,
Well, this is also really important, especially in these times when all the arts programming in schools are being defunded. So I just wanted to stick that out there because
exactly.
this really brings positive light to this community.
So yeah, let me hand this off to Drew and let him take the mic. I wanted to give him an introduction and let you guys know where my head's at. But Drew, tell him what it is.
Hey man, I'm really humbled by that introduction. What we're doing in Detroit right now is we've done the project for 8 years now, and our friend Corbin LaParle, he has 7 years of B-roll that he's been working with, and we recently introduced him to Dan Collins of Degenerate Art, and basically we've almost had this Kickstarter fully topped off to 27,000. Right now it's hovering around 21,000. And what we'd like to do is put together a film that kind of expresses what we've been doing with ourselves with this whole project initiative and the impact it has on Detroit public schools and what it brings to the table as far as the glass industry. You know, you're talking about shedding a positive light. I think even more so than a public relations boost, it gives people the ability to come to the event and make contact with glass artists and see the glass blowing done live, which I think is really where all the power lies in the event. We pretty much take a 35,000 square foot studio space and turn it into an art factory for visiting artists over a course of 3 days. Then we tear it down, hustle all the glass, and cut a check. I think this year we're going to come in at maybe around $150,000, which puts us in 6 schools with Art Road and gives programming to 2,200 kids. It just seems this thing is snowballing. We have the full support of the industry, and with this movie, we hope to step outside the bounds of our own industry and really reach out to the general public. You know, like I've seen Blown Away on Netflix. There's a lot of chatter about that, but I think this is something completely different and new and refreshing, and it'll really leave you with warm-hearted and warm-handed.
All right, that's what's up, man. Cool. Yeah, I think that's such a great comparison because, yeah, like I said, I was excited about Blown Away, and you know, nothing against it. It was great. It was everything it should have been. It's just that they don't show the beauty that can be done with this thing and what it is when people come together, and I think that is in its own way so much more positive. And I didn't mean to take away from the project being able for people to come out. I just mean with this documentary getting out to the public. And guys, speaking of, I wanted to just take a minute to show you guys, you know, when I really like philanthropy that makes it easy. You know what I mean? Like I hate personally to just be like, yo, can we have some money, please? And they have, guys, you got to see some of the stuff that they have done to make it so easy to support. This is so, they are so close. 27,000, 60 hours to go. And guys, look at what is available out there. They have salt dabbers for $40. I had to do it. Yeah, you know, I'm balling on a budget here, but that is such a fucking awesome reward. Salt is such a great guy. I've had the pleasure of getting to film him, and just a nice guy to hang out with too. Gosh, I was just telling Carrie about the Ron Burgundy stuff that they would do, like on the Pipe Classic DVDs or whatever.
Oh yeah,
like, dude, that's too cool. Anyways, there's so many cool reward levels here, guys. Posters, just get your name in the credits, get a mood mat, t-shirts, headgear.
Is your name in the credits then, Mike?
I guess, I don't know. I just wanted the salt dabber, to be honest. So, you
know. We just added some new perks as well. I believe Marcel Braun coin for the project well 2 years ago is up there as a newly added late night push on our Kickstarter. We're you know, we have a lot of generosity in our industry, and these guys really set us up. Mataskookie put bottles on there. Z put a couple pieces. Northern Waters Glass put a piece. Snodgrass and Askookie had a shot glass up there. You know, these guys. I'm always blown away by the generosity of the artists, and this Kickstarter has been no exception. We have some banjo merch that we just added that we're going to give away to 4 lucky winners, randomly chosen from the whole thing. We're on that last push, and we have $7,000 more to go with 2 days to go. And any help to put us over the top will really bring it home.
Yeah, for real, guys. I really think this is something that should be done and should be done right. So I can't encourage you homies out there enough. I know we got our own little thing going on here, but this is something that is, this is the next thing, guys. This is really what you should take a second to support. Even if you only got a few bucks, I know what it is. It's tough times out there, especially in the summer and all that. But guys, there's so many cool reward levels here. At least get yourself a salt dabber. Come on, $40.
At the very least, click over and watch the 6-minute trailer that we've put together for this thing.
Okay.
It really kind of sets up the story and tells a little bit about what we're doing, what we have done, and where we're taking it. But it also kind of alludes to what the rest of the documentary is going to look like, and what Dan and Corbin have put together and what they have on deck. We have such strong interviews. Like everyone in our team is just really amazing on the microphone and speaks very eloquently with a ton of heart, and they really convey the message well. And as you can see, pulling it up right now, we have some drone footage. It slips into Detroit, some fire, and just us really selling the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I don't want to play the whole video here. Nothing. That's your guys' thing. But look at this,
Oh, yeah.
guys. This is what it really supports, and this is the light it puts us in. This is
like a
this
bike
is what.
toy drive.
Yeah, this is how we should be seen, homies. This is we have fun, but we make positive things happen. And look at this. Yeah, I remember seeing this when it dropped, and it's the way it's shot is beautiful. And this, man, I know Dan Collins, man. What awesome hands. The other cat I'm not as familiar with. I can't pretend to, but like, man, if he's pairing up with that guy, I know it's going to be a dream team. So.
Oh yeah, Corbin. He's been in the trenches with us from the damn near start, recording everything we've been doing. So there's some really great footage from the start, and we're not essentially doing a documentary about the last 7 years of what we're doing, but we're really just trying to convey the message and get everyone on board we can. Like this is far-reaching. This far-reaching even outside of our industry. We pull people in from all walks of life. And get support from everyone we can. And it really shows in the final product.
Well, hell yeah, dude. Well, thank you for what you do. Thank you for telling us a bit about it. Yeah, let's go ahead and pop this party off with the demo, and then afterwards we'll pick a winner for that torch level ticket. I'm super excited to see who's coming with us, guys. David Lewis won that very first year. And he does really cool egg pieces. Got to collaborate with Salt, who's coming back this year. That second year, John Knoll won that ish. Another guy, Bo, I think Bo Bridgman was his name. But he was just a collector and a fan who wanted to support the giveaway. And so he bought a ticket and then won and then gave it to John, whose art he was a fan of. So that's how he got in. And then the last year, White Fire Glass, man, he threw in like $100 or more or something. He went pretty hard in the paint and ended up winning. But I do all these things with random.org, and that can be truly random. It can just like hit the top number, and the guy who gave $5 is gonna win, or the homies who gave hard. So guys, here's the Heather Flame Princess. We're set up in the Torch 10 at Melt, and like she mentioned earlier, this was like a North Star pomegranate challenge. So North Star gave every artist a thing with a bunch of tube and rod of pomegranate. Is that right, Heather?
Yeah, they gave everybody a pre-weighed out amount of pomegranates, so everybody started off on the same playing field, and they basically just wanted to see what you could do with the pomegranate they gave you. And so yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, excellent. And what are you making here? Which part is this?
I believe I'm going to be pulling down my trunk and detaching it from my body. So like from the whole piece, I'm going to pull down the section for my trunk. One side will leave me with my head in my trunk. So it's one seamless piece with no weld on it. And then the other side will be my section for my body.
That's very smart. All right, I like that approach.
Yeah, I really like doing the seamless pools for the trunk because then there's no seal there, and so if it ever happens to fall over, it's not a weak point by any means. So it helps give it a little more durability.
Yeah, I like that. We were just talking about that last week, or I think maybe the week before. I think it was last week. We were talking about Salt when how he shapes the skulls, and rather than add the attachments for the ears, or like glob glass on and have to do a seal there, he like squeezes the wall together, so it's all part of the original glass. I just think that.
AKM?
AKM. Who did I say?
He said Salt.
Salt. Oh, sorry. No, oh gosh, caught me slipping out there. No, I did mean AKM. Sorry.
But yeah, same theory. Less welds you have to do, essentially, the more stability there'll be in the glass.
Right.
Just less chances for stress to happen, and especially at melt, like if you end up setting up on the wrong side of the kiln, you're trying not to like go back and forth with all your welds around the tent.
Oh yeah.
Heather's got her Bunsen there. Is that way?
Yeah, well,
I was super happy for that.
I think it's something worth talking about since you're with us, Heather. You're somebody who have had the pleasure of filming not just here, but like at Champs, and in that scenario, and also here where you've got a bunch of people sharing a kiln, it's just what you were getting at. And it's something, it's not like the craziest thing, but it's something people don't necessarily think about what goes into it when you're in these competitions and a shared space and all that, where you have to accommodate other people opening that kiln door, and if there's, I don't know to put it like this, but like if you're one of them cats whose work is on the edge, you know what I mean? Like you might just get pushed over it because somebody opened the kiln door at the wrong time. Like your work should be solid. It can't be something that a little cold breeze is gonna send it into the red or whatever.
Correct. Just like Banjo says, if your piece is welded together correctly, you can set it on the bench and walk away. So
all right, I like that. Yeah, that's some real wisdom. Yeah, now Carrie mentioned that Bunsen, and you've got an interesting one there. That's like a one kind of thing.
It's the Carlisle Bunsen burner. I'm a huge Carlisle fan. I would only cheat on my Carlisle with a Herbie.
Okay, interesting. Okay, gotcha.
But so my Carlisle Bunsen burner, I really enjoy that one. It has 3 different places to adjust the settings, so it gives you a more wide variety and versatile flame versus the GTT Bunsen burners that typically only have one unless you modify it way to adjust the temperature. So I like it for no matter what kind of sculpture I'm working on. I can adjust the flame to an appropriate kneeling flame, or if I'm working a huge project, I can just rage it and keep my whole huge thick project just really nice and hot. And especially at competitions or places where you're sharing kilns, you essentially can just use the garage as the kiln as a garage and just build everything in the Bunsen burner, and you never once have to go to the kiln. That's what you'll kind of watch me do here. I'll build all my pieces and actually set them on my bench, and then I'll pre-warm them up and add them all on into my Bunsen. And I pretty much only go to the kiln, I think, once in this whole video. So it's just as a big saver for when working in group settings. Gives other people also the opportunity to have kiln space. If you notice someone's working on a big project, you can work on yours in your Bunsen and let them have the kiln space for the time being. So it's just a good way to work good with others and get your work done and keep it hot.
Right, yeah. Even if you do have to go to the kiln, give it some time in the Bunsen so it's already somewhat stable.
That nice space heat, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Flame Princess, how many lighters do you recommend there should be on the bench at one time?
Do I have a bunch of them?
Maybe at least one.
Probably one or none.
Okay.
It was a long week. I would either have no lighters or 5. So like, I was just like, I'll take what I can get.
Yeah. Yeah. Oftentimes it's like one of those like do as I say, not as I do, kind of things. Now, are you condensing back glass here to make the body?
Yeah, the tubing they gave me was a little thinner than I would normally buy for myself.
Okay,
So I'm
cool.
trying to bring it back down onto itself and create like a more heavy wall thickness. I add a lot of attachments onto my bodies, so I need my bodies to be very thick so there's not an uneven cooling process that's happening.
Okay, gotcha.
Like if it's at 5 mils or thick, I get a little squirrely there, but like if I keep it 5 mils or thicker on my bodies, there definitely tends to be no problems with the cool down. Same thing with like when you're adding bridges or anything. If you keep them 5 mils or thicker, you're able to hang out with your piece for a longer period of time, which allows you to add in more detail or make that weld super perfect without worrying about cooling in other areas of your piece.
I gotcha. All right.
Flame Princess's Carlisle baby daddy Norm says, thanks for the old CC. It's running great.
I'm so glad he liked it. Yeah, that was a fun torch to have for a little bit. I needed to get some work done on my other Carlisle, so I bought a Carlisle to send my other Carlisle in, and then I sold my old Carlisle when my other one came back. So
Well, that really is love right there.
it's another nice thing about Melt is that they have like the guy from Carlisle come out and he'll like make any hand adjustments to your torch that he feels is needed.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Yeah.
that's super nice, and he remembers most of the ones he works on. So he's a super fun guy to like hang out with and chit chat with.
You're talking about Jess?
Yeah, Jess.
I forgot his name. So
Yeah,
bad.
Jess with the goatee or whatever?
He sets up all the gas lines and all the tables and everything too, right?
Yeah. I mean, he helps set up the whole
He
thing.
generally does that at like Las Vegas and stuff, but
Yeah, he also helps with other events. The man knows his way around a fitting.
Very nice and very, very helpful. Yes, I super appreciated his help there.
All right, so here you're using the Marver and then even the flip up one to give you 3 sides here, and almost like you're making like a flat cup, I take it, or?
Kind of giving him like some nice shoulders for the front and gives him, I'll like kind of shape out the front and then give it like a little puff, but that way my chest is nice and thick and I don't get it too rounded out because I like to bring my legs as far forward as possible on my pieces.
Okay.
And then my back legs as far back as possible. So I like my front and my ends to be like have an extra nice thickness to apply on, and it just welds the shoulders in very seamlessly, and it gives it like a really nice broad wide stance, so it helps with stability when it's standing, and then also just makes welding that much easier.
Okay, gotcha. And to be clear, later you'll be doing solid welds, is that right, for like the feet and arms or whatever?
Yes,
Okay,
I have
solid.
plated hollow, but are much more of a pain to clean.
I gotcha.
So over the years, I have stuck with solid. So I do solid attachments for my ears and my tail and my feet.
All right, very cool. What are we making here?
It looks like I'm going to start making the feet prep. So I heated up some 12 mil in my Bunsen, so I have like a nice base heat, so that way I don't get a crack when I make my attachment, and then I cut it off, and then the residual heat from my torch has kind of heated up my 12 mil rod. I'll give it another little heat and then I'll coat it. I noticed pomegranate over clear, or some of those like really heavy striking colors over clear kind of makes it the same opaqueness as the body and the tubing, not like these super dark ruby legs with like that nice pretty pomegranate body. Kind of toning it down a little bit gives it the same look as the body, so it looks more even. It's all made from one piece of glass rather than like these pieces welded onto it.
I'm with you there. That makes sense because the glass in the body is thinned out to, like you said, about 5 millimeters, but the feet are going to be more like 8, 10, even 12. Who knows, right?
Well, my micros are 12, my minis
Okay.
are 16, and my large are 20 mil. So yeah, like it
Okay.
can get pretty
Yeah.
thick, especially on those bigger ones, and it just gets too crazy.
Gotcha. Right. And then the term is like ionic colors or whatever, that like they get darker the thicker they are or whatever, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that. That's a good
Something with like amber purple, like even if you put amber purple over clear, it looks like an amber purple, like just coil potted or
right.
tubing. And then if you you just gather amber purple. There's so much silver and metals in it that it starts to off gas and gives you more browns than like the nice pretty tones amber purple can give you. So it's especially important in like the striking colors just because they have so many metals in them that it kind of covers up anything that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, those striking colors, I mean, those are the ones that you can like do blowouts and like stretch the tiniest little bit so far because they just have so many metals in them that they may have this opacity and color effect.
Sometimes
Some
also
are
on my
really rich.
legs, I like to lay it on like a little bit squirrely and kind of like mix it up a little. And it, especially on like my amber purples and stuff, it gives it like a tie-dye effect.
Sure. Makes it look more organic, yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes on my striking colors, I do try to lay it on more like organically rather than super mechanical. Just kind of gives it more of a flow.
That's fun. I like that. It's a nice little touch there. And you know, it's something you're doing there that that I do when I'm striping is I noticed you giving it just a little bit of a back and forth to preheat the rod. And then
Yeah, so it kind
that's
of lays more consistent.
yeah, exactly. And that giving it that little bit of a preheat allows you to stripe with more control and just really get it moving the way you want. Just something to think about for you guys out there who are just getting started in the striping game. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually just learned a super cool technique for striping at my lace face class. So watching this, I'm like, oh man, done much of my improvement since this.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, how was that class, by the way?
She's such an amazing, magical human being that it was just like an amazing class. She breaks down everything on like how to create creative designs. Like we designed that piece together in that class, and then like her techniques are just out of this world, man. She's a very, very, very good glass blower.
That's great.
I've looked up to her since I've been blowing glass, so to like take a class from her, it just was a dream come true.
Yeah, no, you're very lucky. I learned with her years ago. I took a class that she taught along with Robert Mickelson, and that was a really great experience. And I had the pleasure of meeting her husband, Steve. Really nice guy. Shout outs to him. Yeah. All right. Who's scratching here? Somebody's microphone is doing some things. But anyways, yeah, I met him and I mentioned, you know, I was like, yeah, Lacey's one of my teachers, and he was kind of taken aback. He was like, really? He was like, which class did you take? Because it turns out she's taught very few classes. And it turns out that was like, man, that was an even more rare and special experience than I thought, you know. And I drove out of town to go take that class and everything. I knew what I was doing, but now I'm like, damn, to find out that it was like even more rare than I thought. It's like, wow, like people who get to learn with people like that. It's, you know, some of these cats, I mean, it's a labor of love, you know, that they'll like, not to make it about money or anything, but like they'll make more sitting at home. You know what I mean? So like they really got to love to do something if you get them out of the house to do it. You know what I'm saying? Kind
Yes.
of deal. So it's gosh, it's just it really is special to be able to learn with cats like this whose work is so respected and who really speak with such a vision. I learned a lot with her about how to really make glass flow organically, and you know, I'll just be even playing with glass and like shaping it around the way she taught me. And yeah, it was a great class. Learning with her and Robert, they basically conceptualized and did this whole collaborative piece based on the music we were listening to. It was quite an interesting process. And
she definitely teaches like that still. I guess that Mickelson class was the first class she ever taught. That's what she was saying in our class.
Is it really? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then it's the second class she's ever taught. So she wants to get into teaching more. So you should be able to see more classes from her in the future. That's something she's working towards. So that's super cool to hear. You went to her first class and then I went to her second class, and
that's really
do that same way. Go with the flow and just like you kind of let the glass move itself. Like a glass tells you where it wants to go, and that's a very letting go quality that I don't have. So it's very interesting and it works beautifully for her. So
yeah. Well, very cool. That was quite the experience. Maybe she did tell us at the time it was her first class, but I don't remember that. And I think she just played it cool.
She's totally humble like
Yeah.
that, so
She's
I
like,
totally believe that. Yeah.
what do you mean, Robert? I teach all the time.
Wow, she sounds very New Jersey suddenly. Huh?
I know. Okay.
So when you do coat over clear, when you then go to smash clear coated items, that clear can push through when you push. So before I smash my little feetsies, I add in a little like knuckle of color. So when I flatten it, it flattens up over that and it doesn't allow any clear to pump through. So you can, especially like on opaque colors or like a nice heavy color, you can eliminate the fact that it even was coated over clear. But when you go to smash it, you add a little color and then smash it. I learned that through trial and error over the years. So it's a nice way to make your material go longer and still give it that nice, clean, well-rounded look, especially when you go to terminate at the end when you tear off or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a nice little trick right there. It really is. It's like, yeah, you can do these things, but if you don't figure out the places where it looks wrong, and compensate, it's like, then you're kind of just, but if you can figure out those little tricks, then yeah, your saturation is going to be perfect the whole way through. That's really cool.
Learning from a lot of the bigger name people lately, they definitely stretch their material way more than I thought they did. I thought they mainly did all solid color or those things, but most of them don't actually. And it's been fun to play with that myself, and I get more colors I'm looking for with coating over clear. And so it's been a fun journey.
Yep.
And the little thing I did there is I have notches cut in the top of my marver. That's for each size foot that I need. They're cut at half-inch and inch markers.
Oh, I see that.
So I can double check the length of my feet. So all 4 feet are the same length when I go to apply them.
That's
I did not notice that until you
yeah.
pointed that out.
Yeah, that's how you really got a production thing going there. Yeah, you got your notches and the marver ready to go.
And I'm trying to convince Daryl to cut notches into the marver. I'm like, cut professional ones. I would buy it.
That's not a bad idea. It should have like measuring, a little ruler etched into it.
It's brilliant.
Especially when you go to demo places, not everywhere has a hardy backer with a little checkerboard that's marked out 1-inch squares everywhere. So it's super great for competing and traveling and collabing with people. You just always have your same markers, because even if they're not exactly right, they're your same form, your same mark you're going to hit every time. So your work's going to be consistent each and every time.
Very clever.
I have a couple random notches in there for things, so yeah.
We know about the notches on your marver, girl.
Boom! Oh, biggity, boom!
Lipstick case, forget about it.
Oh, goodness. Good one, Carrie. Good one. All right. I'm grabbing a beer. Excuse me.
After that, yes. So thanks to everybody that's joining us. Thank you especially to Heather for joining us tonight. This is awesome. We're hoping to do a little bit more of this with the fireside chat, to have artists come on, and I hope you're enjoying yourself, Heather. I hope everybody in chat's enjoying this.
I'm super enjoying myself. Thank you guys for having me. You guys are some of my favorite people, and every time I go to an event and I see you guys, it makes me extra happy. So
likewise.
I'm grateful to be here.
Likewise. Heather. Aw. We're Heather's favorite people, baby.
That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I get a beer too. Oh, awesome. So yeah, guys, hit that like button, and yeah, it's just quiet in chat tonight, John. It's not frozen. I think everybody's entranced by our special guest. And now the man of many words is back, so he'll entertain for you.
Mike is quite the entertainer.
He is the entertainer.
All right. I like that Bunsen burner. It looks like those Japanese Satake torches or whatever.
Oh, they kind of do. The Bunsen burner I have is really common in neon work.
Okay.
Because it can get really hot and it makes bending really easy. That's another industry I've seen it used in a lot. And my Bunsen burner is also really common in science work.
Yeah, it has a very
sciencey feel. Yeah. I was talking more like chemistry science, but that works too.
Yeah, no, totally. Sprinkle a little chili pepper in the glass batch or whatever. All right. We're missing process here.
Okay, so
have you welded these guys on somewhat rough now, and then they're gonna get bridged up? Is that what's gonna happen?
So I blow glass differently now than and even in this video, but I don't bridge, especially on my smaller micro elephants. So I heat them up, I get the leg nice and soupy, and then I apply it, which gives me like my nice shoulder that's already there. I barely have to go in with my mini torch and kind of round out and flow that shoulder in. So I let them set up while I apply the other legs on. Otherwise, if I go in and weld right away, I will, they'll just they'll move all over the place, and then I would have to bridge them. So as a way to kind of eliminate time for like my production pieces is I just put all 4 feet on, and then I work them in quarter panel increments, and then make sure everybody's all straight, and then I go in and flatten, and then do one more polish all around the legs, and then that's how I get away with that without any bridges.
So you're saying you bridge them? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
I mean, they hold themselves up.
I'm totally kidding.
I just use heat control instead of bridges. My experience is there's like when you're taught by older glass blowers, you're either that person believed in bridges or that person didn't believe in bridges. And I was taught by someone who like hated bridges. He didn't believe that you were a good glass blower if you used bridges. I don't believe that, but like my initial learning in my initial few years, I didn't really bridge anything. But now over the last year, I've been bridging things a lot more, especially since I've been playing with new shapes and new different designs and things like that. They definitely require bridging. Simple production, I agree. If your production is simple and you have something else to work on while you're welding that at the same time, you can get away without bridges. Not recommended though.
Gotcha. It'd be funny if the person...
I start working on a little corner. Oh no, you're fine. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just start working on a quarter panel, and then as soon as I get that like sharp part welded in, and the other parts aren't really like, they don't need to be welded in as hard. They're more or less just making it flow. Those welds on the inside of the legs are like the only parts that have like a sharp, super acute edge to it. So that I go in and weld those first, and I don't get them, since I'm not coming to the outside shoulder, it doesn't get hot enough to move around. It's just hot enough to melt in my seal.
Okay, very cool. Now, I was just going to say, I thought it would be funny if the person who taught you not to use bridges was John Bridges.
Oh my God. That would be really funny.
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, I imagine if these legs were much skinnier and longer, that bridges might be necessary. What do you think about that?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of heat factors that are going into play here. I just have been making the same shape for 6 years now. So I've kind of got it nailed down. And then on my super large ones, I just do 1 foot at a time nowadays. So like I don't kind of just work it in a quarter panel, and I just kind of keep it down there. On my sit down and my mini tube styles, I bridge my legs to those because those are just different welds and they just come out cleaner that way. So yeah.
All right. Not completely anti-bridging.
No, I'm not anti-bridging anymore. No. But on my micros and my minis, I still don't bridge on the regular stand-up ones. But on every other design I pretty much make, I bridge everything. So
That's cool. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I mean, if you can quarter these things out like you're doing, you're even going out to half. But when it's a big solid attachment, it's not. It's got much more room, to play. It's not like
correct.
the other side's gonna get all floppy. It's got to get all the way through that center solid core.
Correct. And
So
these are a little over 12 mil thick too. So it's quite a bit of heat that needs to be penetrated. And I'm also not returning it to my Bunsen at all. So it's cooling rather than being reheated at any point. So it
gotcha.
worked out pretty well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and if you don't get the heat right when you initially stick it, then that center becomes an issue. You know what I mean? Then if you don't drill heat all the way in there and get that weld happy, now you've got an unhappy weld. It's like that can
Correct.
be a blessing and a curse. Just to ramble
Correct.
on about that, but
Oh yeah. I've especially in the beginning, that was a big problem for me. But I just in the beginning also didn't have the knowledge to. I wasn't educated on bridges or anything of that nature. So
oh shit.
in the beginning, I kind of had to just work with what I was given, and I had ideas, but I was unable to execute them the way I wanted to. And so I just made best with what I've got. And yeah, but I'm able to make up and then heated it up all at once, and then I flatten and
Yeah, I like
kind of
that.
give it a move. If you just flatten it and you don't move it, it creates like an uneven level of flattening because 4 points is one of the hardest pieces to make stable. A tripod is ideal, but 4 points it makes it really hard.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I guess it would, huh? Never really thought about that.
4 points is the most glass blowers have been told me that 4 points is the hardest to make completely stable. You should aim for tripod pieces or solid bottom pieces. So I learned throughout the years when you glide it across the graphite, it makes sure all those points are good, and you don't want to just slide it forward because then it looks like he's skiing. And he's like going down a hill. So when you do the back and forth motion, it kind of like levels up the molecules in the glass and makes it lay super flat, and you don't have to go back and reflatten it.
Gotcha. All right, and that's the opening for the hole. And that's Sky and Amy there. There's some of the people who helped make Glass Vegas happen and the Glasscraft and Bead Expo. So I wanted to give them a big shout out. They're super awesome, and they come out to melt, and they're just part of the party. So our lucky winner will get to hang out with Amy and Sky and all of us. Really, it's gonna be special. So guys, if you haven't entered, this is basically your last chance. I'll take entries up until the end of the demo, but at that point it's time to enter anybody. And so yeah, hit that donation link in the video description, and then forward that thank you email over to glasscentralstation@gmail.com, and I'll get you entered. But yeah, and guys, if you have entered and you've not gotten an email back from me with your number in the drawing, you really, really, really gotta get back to me on that.
Yeah, if he doesn't have that email, he doesn't know how many tickets to enter you for, and or
Yeah,
that
no,
he
you're
needs
not
to enter you for any tickets. So
exactly.
that should happen ASAP because that's going to be in the next hour or so ish. I would imagine.
It is. Yeah, you have about 36 minutes until this drawing. So if you're just here for the drawing, you can throw in an episode of Seinfeld or whatever, and then check back. Not just playing, but like, yeah, no, but that's what it is. And so I'm gonna say in about 30 minutes, I'm calling it 30 minutes. It's 10:51. Yeah, let's call it about 11:20. I'm gonna stop accepting entries. So this is really the biggest no-brainer, period. $5 to help people in need. And even if you can't make it to East Coast Melt, you have the ability to give this ticket to a friend. So you're going to be somebody's glass hero. Be like, yo, man, I gave $5 to Feeding America and fed some shorties, and now you're going to East Coast Melt. That could be you, the hero. I'm just kidding, but like for real though, I don't want to go on about this because 10 years from now somebody will be watching this like, this ended 10 years ago. Just talk about the glass. Like, you're adding more glass here to the head? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I added a little glass to the head because the section they gave me, it ended up being a little too small for the head that I had left over. So I added a little bit to that. And then there's kind of two reasons I did that. I added some extra glass so when I blow that hole out for the neck, also there won't be any clear from the inside of the tubing. So it creates a more seamless, no color changing seal on the neck. There won't be that little clear lip that wants to pop out sometimes when you go to join the two pieces together. So it's just another way of adding in color in certain places to fix any seams or any way to tell that you made two pieces one. It just is supposed to kind of look like one piece of glass.
And homies, it does look like Drew had to step away, but man, I wanted to just thank him for joining us and give him a huge shout out for what he does. Him and everybody involved with the Michigan Glass Project. It's not just him, but man, oh man, he has been one of the biggest faces of this thing, and I can't thank him enough for joining us and taking the opportunity. And guys, I feel like every 2 seconds I'm talking about giving some money, but gosh, I mean, Feeding America is just a beautiful organization and you can win something cool. But guys, this Kickstarter that they have going now, let's not let them down, for real. This thing, they're like 6,000 short or something, and there's so many cool rewards. I mean, a $40 salt dabber, that's cool as shit. Those are going to be collector's items one day.
True.
All this stuff is, but they're banjo shirts. I mean, there's something for everyone on there, and this is the coolest thing to support. If this documentary gets on Netflix, man, I mean, we should be showing it to everybody, but this is one of those things that has the opportunity to really spread wide. And
great marketing for glass artists,
Yeah, I hate to put it like that. It sounds calculating, but that's the truth. I mean,
education,
you need,
and
yeah,
people need to know what they're buying before they know the worth of it. I mean, seriously, why should they buy something that you put so much time and effort into when they can get something from China for like $5 from Target?
Right, yeah, totally. There's a difference here. And this is, American pipe making is one of these. Look at this nice smash move here. This is the ears.
Yes, and we're making the ears right here.
Gotcha.
And
you're cooking out those stress marks.
Double check my paddle. Yes, tool marks.
Gotcha.
That's the best way to make your work look clean. You just polish everything.
Of course.
If you're not a very good glass blower and your stuff's not super perfect, just start by polishing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's some moves, is like I was mentioning it recently, but Justin Carter, for example, man, he's a homie, and he told me once when he was pushing Marias, he was like, man, if you're not getting a little bit of cold haze on a Maria to polish out, you're pushing it too hot. And it's like there's a certain amount of control, and you sacrifice control for that sort of thing. And you have to make that, everybody's got their own ratio that they choose when they have the ability to choose, Some people prefer to work much faster and looser and hotter. Other people prefer to work colder and slower and more controlled. Cool Hand Suze is another one. I don't think that's why the name says Cool Hand or whatever, but it's a pretty legitimate name because she likes to work cool. She likes to do things cold and slow and controlled, at about just the right heat needed to perform the move versus more heat to make it happen quicker, or that can make seals go really fluidly and such. But all right, let's talk about these welds. Are these being done like the feet, no bridging needed? You're just kind of hitting one side at a time and getting them cooked in?
Yeah, so I heat one side, and as I have the hot side pointing down, so I'm using gravity in my benefit. So as it's cooling and the heating's it down, I then will start to work up towards the top one. And then as I notice that bottom ear is cooled, I'll do another flip. So I'm using gravity as a way to help me during my cool down process. So it sets it in the right angle. And also, because if it's hot and you move it and you adjust it and you get that ear to have that cute little flare just like you want it, you're not going to have to go back and polish anything out because it was still hot when it set right into the spot you need it to. See, and sometimes you go back and make adjustments like I do with my tweezers, and that way I can get the ears on the same axis, make sure everything's all super lined up and just the way I want it to, and then I'll go through and pull the bottom of my ears so they each have the same amount of drag, or add a little glass to one to give it like the droopy effect that's on the same one that I give for like the cartoony ear look I give on mine.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I like what you were mentioning with how you get the heat from the initial stick to set the positioning and such, and get that the right curve there. It's one of these idioms, or whatever you want to call it, but I really like it, and I've been pushing it lately. It's like the 2019 dank heat, and it's that the first heat is the best heat. Like, if you can do whatever you have to do off the initial heat that you set into something, that's always the best time. If you have to go in and add heat later to do something, there's times where that's required, of course, but if you can find a way to keep working off that initial heat that you've set into something when you've put that dank heat into it, and I think that's one thing, because you've heated up both sides, where you've heated up where you want to attach it, you've heated up the corner, there's all that heat in there. It's just the way everything is when the molecules want to flow. It's when they're already all talking, and so you've added some eyes here, I take it?
Yes, I just do little plain black little beady eyes, kind of like an anime style. I like to just kind of do like a cartoony fun style, so I just do a simple jet black is what I like. I used to like Eclipse, but I don't anymore. Not as big of a fan. I like jet black a little more now.
I was on that Eclipse train for a while, and then it started to get less bulletproof every time.
Yes, I was like a firm believer. It's the only black without chromium in it. That's part of the reason I used to push it so hard, is it didn't have chromium in it, so it never really got gray on me. But over the last year or two, I just haven't felt the quality has been what it used to be. They do make, however, a million more colors now that I do love. So I could understand back in the day the palette wasn't as big, so they were able to take their time and make each thing super perfect. But yeah, jet black just doesn't let me down.
Yeah, I stick with jet black these days. I mean, it's so cheap and so proper. It's great for Millie. It's everything I need in a black.
Sometimes if you get the eyes a little too hot when you're welting them in, what I did right there is I kind of gave it a little puff out, make sure everything was the wall on the inside was super smooth and there wasn't any sort of divot or any sort of inconsistency in my wall thickness. So kind of re-evened it back out there. And then I'll go in the back and I'll blow out my neck so it kind of elongates the back part of the head. And then I'll open up and flare the hole right there. So it gives me a nice, sturdy, heavy wall that also creates a neck so that way he doesn't have no neck. And then when I did the same thing to the body, so there'll be these two flared up and out walls that I'll stick together and then I'll pull, and that'll create my neck and allows that to be welded in at a lot more seamless rate, and it gets rid of that seal right there and it just flows into his shoulders that I had pre-created.
Okay. Did you ever have any formative experiences with elephants? Is there a picture of 8-year-old flame princess riding an elephant or something?
My dad died when I was 5 years old, and my mom took me to the Orange County Fair, and I rode an elephant. So that was my first experience with elephants. As I became an adult and older, I realized they're actually really mean to those elephants, but I don't support that anymore. But yeah, there's a picture of 5-year-old Heather on an elephant at the Orange County Fair.
That's so adorable. I can't believe that my most adorable vision of how this came to be was mostly true. It was just a little dose of sadness. Condolences. I'm sorry your dad passed so young. That's yeah, but in any event.
It's all
Okay.
good. Everything happens for a reason. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I super always loved elephants. They never forget. They have the same reaction in their brain when as humans when they see puppies. So when elephants see humans, they actually get excited to see humans. They're one of the few animals we've ever recorded that has a brain response the same as like we do to other animals. So that's just so cute.
That is really cute.
And they hold little funerals. They'll gather around like a dead elephant, and they'll stay there for 7 to 10 days. They won't eat, and then when they finally walk away from the ceremony, if they ever have to pass by that part of the land again, they stop and they give like a moment of silence for that elephant that had passed away in that same exact spot.
Wow.
Before moving on in their adventure. They just have a lot of really good qualities, and some qualities I wish more humans embodied. So I just really enjoy what elephants stand for, what they bring to the world as far as their compassion and if we just learned from them, we'd learn so much. And I just really love everything there is about them. And a cartoony version of an elephant is just kind of makes me smile and makes it kind of more fun rather than super serious. And I definitely love to approach life at a more fun view of things rather than being super serious.
Very nice. I like that a lot.
This is why Heather's also one of our favorite people.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, this is all really nice. That's an awesome reason to make something. It really is.
So for bending my trunk, after I seal in the neck, I then go through and I bend my trunk. I use like a nice, light, fluffy flame, which is one of the only reasons I would ever cheat on my Carlisle with the Herbie, is because I just love that super fluffy flame, that love-making flame that the Herbie offers, which makes bends like that even easier. But if not, you could just turn your Carlisle down real nice and low, almost to an annealing flame, and just kind of go with it. You can do it in one swift motion, but I like a real nice angle to it. So I heat the bottom first, kind of let that set up. I don't have to let it set for very long because I didn't get it very hot. And then I go back in and heat that second part of that trunk to give me my second bend. And then I tear it off and I leave myself a little wiggle room in case anything happens on the back end and I need to like switch my handle and fix any issue I'll have on that back end. And then after I bend my trunk, I'll go through and I polish any stress that may have arisen from bending my trunk. And then I will add in some mass to the back. Sheba showed me this removable downstem technique that I'm going to be executing right here. So you pretty much just do like a scientific blowout on it. So you kind of like just heat it, slowly puff, and you can watch this like mountain ridge. It kind of looks like a volcano about to erupt, and like that's how it flares it out and keeps its nice wall thickness. So then I just flare it out and then ream it out with a joint holder by Scott Griffin, and then just make sure everything's all super smooth, fits the joint nice and snugly, like everything's all flat, all my tool marks are polished out, and kind of just go over and make sure everything's super structurally sound.
Very
before
nice.
Moving on.
So it's like a tubulation, like a big raised carb or whatever.
Essentially, yeah. And then the extra glass that I added on before I blew it out gives it a super nice, like 5 to 7 mil thickness around the joint. So that way, it, like when I set the removable downstem inside of it, it has like a nice, thick, secure base for the downstem to go into, rather than like this little thin entry point, because you're going to be taking your downstem in and out for cleaning and such things like that. So try to make it as durable as possible.
Very cool. So yeah, you got it right about to shape, and now you're using the that's the Griffin, like what, the 14 or 8? What is that? A 14 or 18?
That's a 14.
Okay, so the 14 mil octagonal former essentially.
Right.
So now you can set an external one right in that. Very nice. And you said Sheba taught you that?
Yes, Sheba,
Yeah.
Della Luna, and Sheba are
Yeah.
some of my best friends. So definitely would like to shout out where I earned knowledge from. And so Sheba's a super great guy, super talented, has a great pocket full of little techniques like this, and definitely quite a joy whenever I get to learn them.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Joined you up at Lace Faces class too, huh?
Right?
Yes, we had a great time. We made a super epic elephant stone carving waterfall thing and used a lot of Lacey's go with the flow techniques of putting attachments on and then letting the piece decide where it needs to go. It was definitely very unique, and I put a lot of skills that I learned from that class into it already. So really excited to just kind of go further with that and keep making some really cool collabs with Della Luna.
That's great. I like her a lot. I like Chris, Shubba. Both of them are really nice cats. Shubba was I was hoping that he was going to stop through. I was getting the guest room all ready for him and shit. And, because I heard he was coming through.
He ran out of time.
Yeah, I heard
he was driving from Michigan Glass Project back to
yeah, home, I heard him. I wasn't no guarantee or nothing, so I didn't.
Right.
I wasn't like, oh, what the fuck. But no, I was hoping he was going to make it through because he's the homie. Yeah, he's one of these other. He's, I gotten the opportunity to hang out with them a good bit, because we do the thing at Champs, and yeah, I like them a lot. Really, really cool cats. So yeah, it was. Like I said, I was hoping he was going to make it through.
Yeah, me, Courtney, and Sheba were all on the road for 3 weeks recently, so I understand the need to go home because me and Courtney did Champs, and then we went from Champs up to Oregon, and then Sheba went to the Michigan Glass Project, and then he left like a week before the Michigan Glass Project and started doing his collab tour on the way there, and then he just got back the other day, so we've been on the road going
back. Madison and was at Freak Shop for a couple days. He was in Chicago for a little bit. Instagram live stalker, yes. Instagram story stalker.
So here you're making like a blank that you use to pull out petals. Is my memory serving me right?
That's just straight raw color. For my super small ones, I don't do a ton of prep because the flower is only about the size of a quarter. On my bigger ones, I do like a bigger rod prep and pull those down. But for this one, this is a Greasy's satin white, so it'll be white in regular light and pink in UV light. And it was part of the goodie bag that we got in Melt. So all the materials I used here, I happened to get at Melt, and I used them at Melts, and it was a lot of fun, and I felt it was a good time to use them.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, speaking of, I mean, not that anybody needs a goodie bag to come out to Melt because the lineup is through the roof. The experience is incredible for what you get, the way, like all the classes and demos, and then just kicking in a tent with the freaking 100 amazing people. And lodging in showers, all this stuff. But there's also a goodie bag that's full of like really valuable things. Like if there was like a $50 gift certificate amounts of glass in one of them. There's a giant strip of dichro, like all these different colors. And no promises this year, but every year I've managed to get sticker packs for every single person in the bags. Like there's just so much cool stuff in these packs. Not that anybody, should make their decision based on a goodie bag, but holy fuck, there's an awesome goodie bag for attendees. Like, woo!
I mean, if not, go for the crab legs.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, I kind of would go for there is a night with crab legs, homies. We're not even joking about that. Like, woo!
And they also have vegan food, and it's good. Carrie was happy about this.
And they do accommodate gluten-free people.
This is true. They're amazing.
Yeah, you just let them know what your issues are if you have specific dietary needs. Fuck with them. Just tell them you're pescatarian. See what happens.
So, Mike, for all the people that are what? For all the people that are signing up between now and when you draw, are you gonna take a moment to update the spreadsheet?
I actually am. Shout out to Alex who just dropped 20. I'm putting him in. He's on spots 166 to 169.
There we go.
Call it his last name or nothing, but
somebody did just say that they had sent it in, and I wanted to make sure
that could be him. Yeah, I'm actually like just
get the proper email to you.
I just replied. But basically, at the end of the demo, I'm going to take just a couple of minutes and make sure that everybody who just entered is properly entered. But yeah, the homie who just entered, I just got you in. I just replied. So check your email and you should have your thing back. But those are your spots. And yeah, this is all pretty public. Everybody who is entered knows what their spots are. And really nice terminations here. You're just taking this thing and getting the right amount of glass off and using the extra glass to do it. Why waste anything
Heather,
else?
what did you say that color was again? Somebody asked, and I
Greasy
that
satin.
that one. Yep,
Yeah.
Mike's got it.
Booyah.
Greasy satin is
Greasy satin white. I think you said it was a
Satin
UV
white.
version though. Or a CFL
is
rather.
what is he called? I thought it was satin white, the one that he has.
Yeah.
It also glows pink, right?
Does it? I don't know.
I
I'm not a big.
I could be mistaken. I'm
Nothing-
not a huge. I don't buy a lot of greasy colors
Yeah, exactly.
typically, just because my suppliers that I buy from Glass just typically don't have a ton of his stuff in stock. Nothing against the greasy colors.
Yeah, no,
Whenever I
same.
do get them, I really do enjoy using them. I just believe this one because the satin white is the version that's like Glowpool but more opaque.
I gotcha. Okay.
I can't remember because this is like a global batch that was too opaque. And so I believe when I asked him at Melt, he told me it was satin white, but don't hold me against that. It's just a dense version of global. I do know that for a fact.
Nice. All right. Yeah, the satins are gorgeous. The greasy satins. So, yeah.
Another quick question, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
The emails that they're supposed to send is at glasscentralstation@gmail.com.
That's right. Yeah,
All right.
that's the one I'm watching right now.
All right, so that was Dobby one. That was Alex. Molten Art Studio asked about that, and Jay Kane also says he's got an email sent too. So
Jay
you should have a
Kane.
few. Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
should.
I'm just. I mean, if I didn't reply, but Josh
right, so
Kane, we
you'll
already talked, baby.
All right, good. All right, so
Josh
you
Kane. I mean, if you
reply.
sent more, then it is. But I got you on the what is it, 105 and 106. So if
All right,
that's the
so-
one you're talking about, but if there's a new one, check it out, guys. Here we use the magic of fast forward to show
All
you
right,
all
Mike.
these
Sorry
pedals.
to clarify this, beat this to the ground here. But so if they send an email to you and they got a reply from you, then that's how they can be sure that they're entered.
Exactly. You should know your
right.
spots. If you don't have an email back telling you exactly what your spot is in the drawing, there's a problem.
All right.
So yeah, Adobe One, man, yeah, I just got you in, man. You're 166 to 169. So if that's what number hits, you already know it's Adobe One.
All
So
right,
yeah, all
thank
these
you.
pedals are sitting here chilling out in the cut, ready to
That's
go.
the kind of work that I love. I feel like I could pull pedals for days.
All right, I'm gonna get in that flower game.
It's a super fun thing. Especially my new flowers I'm making after my lace face class, they're even more fun because I now cut the bottoms off of my petals for a better connection point. And so I get to use my shears and I get to pull it. So it's like a nice double combo there.
Nice.
And I think I'm going to encase an opal.
Yeah. Looks like you're
for the
cooking an
center.
opal in there.
Just the good old drop it down the blow tube tech.
Right, yeah. Just taking your time with it, letting that glass cook around, nothing too drastic. Do you give it a suck or anything at the end to kind of pull that glass around, or just keep going?
Usually these ones, they're the mini tumbled opals from Profound, so they usually encase pretty quickly and doesn't really need much of a suck on them. However, on my bigger opal encasements that I do like to do a final suck to help bring that hot glass around without getting the opal too hot.
Yeah.
Or if I'm working like a black or a green opal, I definitely do, so that way I don't burn out my opal. But the whites and the super small guys seem to be really durable, so I don't necessarily always have to do it with those.
Gotcha. Look at that opal. That opal's just blinging. Oof. Good job filming there, Carrie.
Thanks.
Yeah, guys, if you didn't catch the beginning, Carrie was the one who filmed this. She's a monster on the camera too, actually. It's really, really nice to have her help at events filming.
I love being able to help out. I enjoy watching this stuff and hanging out with everybody. It's a great time.
Yeah, that's awesome. It means a lot, and you know, I'm just so glad we have more to share, and I wouldn't just ask anybody.
So I'm
to do
gonna.
it.
Carrie's the best.
Thanks, Heather. You're the best.
All right, so what are we
The
doing
next
here?
step I will
Yeah.
do is adding a back on. So if I'm gonna make like give the center of a flower a different color, I would apply a different color. However, I like the white on white look for some of the flowers, and so I'm going to go with a white background for the center of the flower, which will then also, I'm going to give it a taper at the bottom, which will give me a connection point for my petals and also give me a little nub left over to add another nub of clear on, which then I can make my attachment onto my elephant and give it a super clean, stable weld to the ear. And I've noticed tucking my flowers into the ears gives it the most stability for making pieces that are durable, because the ear kind of gives it protection from like dabbers and carb caps and things of that nature that might drop or get fallen onto the pieces. So I definitely try to make them as structurally sound as possible, and the little nub on the back kind of helps me do that.
Saw a couple more entries come in. Thanks, dogs. I'm about to add it and get you guys your numbers in the drawing, and then I'll give you guys an updated total.
Yeah, I'm trying to share that link in chat, and it just does not want to do
Which one, the tiny URL?
Yeah, the tiny URL doesn't pop up, and then when I click through and try and share the long one, it doesn't share that either. So
well, it's in the video description. Just click that tiny URL. It's
Oh,
right
aren't
there
you
in the
smart?
video description. It's super easy. So
Nice.
yeah, you don't have to worry about the chat. Just look in the video description, and that excuse me. And then yeah, let me get the next couple of cats in there.
So you guys don't pick a number. Mike actually gets the email, and then he sticks you in the spreadsheet and tells you the numbers that you are.
Exactly. Totally. So yeah, like the homie who just put it in, I'm not gonna call them out. I don't know if anybody wants their name to be made public, but BH is the initials, or the initials the payment came through, or TB. They gave 15, and I'm adding them to the spreadsheet right now. So yeah, I'm adding them, and basically because they gave 15, so they have 3 entries, because every $5 is an entry. So I'm putting them in 171, and then 172 and 173. So if that's you who just dropped 15, that's you. And then J Kane, we got you, baby. You're at 170. So yeah, I'm that's what it is.
So Heather, I am a flower girl, and I love this. And I'm not alone. Somebody in chat actually says they have been looking for exactly something like this to help them kind of figure out how to put flowers together. So thank you.
I have some super cool new pointers, and I can help them out with creating more stable flowers. I would love to share that information. This gives you a great basic idea on assembly, but there's a couple things that I would do different. Like I said, I take shears and I cut the bottoms off of each petal now. It gives it more of a flat connection point, so it makes them more stable from everyday like use on rigs. If this was just going to in someone's curio cabinet, or like it was going to be a decoration that wasn't going to be used, you can definitely do that. Even on a necklace, yeah, it would create because that's going to be something more delicate, and that's not going to be kind of tousled around as much. But like when you're throwing flowers on rigs, there's like carb caps and dabbers and human error that comes into factor like that. So there's a couple things like that that make just for a better stable connection as well.
Cool. So I'm more familiar with gluing, and so I can kind of make a connection there.
Yeah, it would be the same way.
Like, it would be a bigger spot to glue. Yeah, exactly.
Yep, exactly.
More attachment points.
So homies, I wanted to mention we are currently sitting at 25,950 meals. We are just on the cusp of 26,000. And guys, for real, like I was saying earlier, we did 17,000 the first year, and then 18,000 the next year. So to be this far ahead of the game, we're nearly 8,000 out ahead of last year. I'm so stoked you guys gave so hard. so many people out there are going to benefit because of this, and
Yeah, this is incredible.
one of you is going to get to go to Melt. So yeah, I mean, okay, now I saw somebody in the chat. They said,
Yeah,
Ryan
baby, did you get
Ewing, did
Ryan?
you? Yeah, like, well, I see it. Hold on, there it is. I just saw your email, dog. My man gave 25. Good look. Let me throw you in here, and I'll give you guys an updated total. 25.
That's a
And
gorgeous piece, Heather.
Thank you.
yeah, let me. Sorry, It really is so cute. look at that guy. I love your
It
work.
was just flower assembly, so it wasn't a whole lot to commentate on. Just pretty much using your heat control, just like on the feet, and just kind of my main technique that I used on those flowers, especially on my smaller flowers. I can't remember the name of the guy who makes those skulls that are like the size of a penny, but he does one-touch welds. And so that's the same thing with these is you get that base, that petal so hot, you stick it on and then you give it a slight pull. And essentially it's completely welded with the way you got it hot. You go in and give it a little polish and make sure there's no acute angles. But for the most part, it's a one-touch seal.
All right, very cool. And yeah, Ryan, you just took us to 26,450 meals, because
Awesome.
yeah, everybody who gave in July, they had a special thing for tripling, but this month it's doubled still with Tony Robbins. So yeah, the meals coming in, man, it's like everybody's having a big impact here, and I can't believe 26,450 meals, and yeah, man, that's incredible. If anybody else wanted to get in on this, yeah, you got like there's like a few minutes left. So it's probably actually about time to close this down. I'm actually going to say this is it. This is your last chance. This demo's over in 3 minutes. So if you donate now, your email will show up in a few minutes. It could take 5 or 6 minutes for that email to show up. We might be done here. But if anybody just gave, let us know in the chat. Oh wait, we just got a new one. We just got a fresh one.
Ooh, oh.
We got another 25 in. I see it. All right, hold on. Here it goes. Let me add them in. Yeah.
So the little clear nub that I gave to the back of the flower, I used to attach onto the ear. Clear in between the color attachments just helps create a more stable, on a molecular level, more stable connection versus welding two different kinds of colors together. So I just do that, and then I then will heat up my tail, make sure my tail, because I carved so deeply into it, is nice and hot and it's not going to shatter when I put it into the torch. And then I kind of tear off his blow tube, which is his little bum, and then I do my heat, touch, and pull technique again when I'm applying my tail. It kind of helps bring out that heavy wall thickness that I had from previous, and it helps even it all out, makes the inside wall concave and smooth with the outside wall, so there's no divots, so it won't create any problems later, and also won't create any break off issues with the tail later on. There's like a really nice thick stable weld there. And also on the micros, the little tails is like a kickstand, so they can stand up on their little back 2 feet and stand up on their tails. It's a little fun little trick they do. And so that's pretty much just how I finish them off, and just grab the Nate Myers finishing tools and pop it in the kiln.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. You got some of the replacement covers from Griffin, though? Is that what that is? Or the Nate Myers
I think
ones?
for Mountain.
I don't know. You look like you had some fancier covers. I liked them.
I think they're the replacements from Mountain.
Okay, very
if
cool.
I remember correctly, yeah.
So
excellent. All right.
Buffalo
guys-
River, my Buffalo River Glass just sent $25.
Who did?
So, Buffalo Glass, Shelby Blackwell.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, Shelby, you're in there. I
Alright,
just
alright,
replied. Yeah, they wrote me back and everything. So, guys,
And Liam Cook was hoping to, but he can't figure out how to do it without.
seriously.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Liam, you're the homie. I am going to donate $10 for you right now.
Aw.
We're gonna do this right now. Yeah.
All right, so hook him up then.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm
And
pulling
everybody
it up.
says thanks, Heather. Thanks for that great demo. And
Right.
I
You
say
guys are all
thank
very
you,
welcome.
Heather, and thank you for joining us. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a lot of fun.
It really
My
was a lot
pleasure
of
to
fun.
be here.
Yeah, Heather, thanks so much. That was really great. Yeah, I'm just gonna not waste time. So Liam is our last entry in spots
Woo!
184 and 185.
Wow. So there are 185.
Well,
Spots
I also
taken, is that
gave
it?
$100 myself. That doesn't count. But other than that, every entry counts. So yeah, there's 185 spots that count. And yeah, so our grand total, you guys, let me hit the drum roll. For real, the grand total right now, y'all, is 27,150.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
thank everybody enough who pitched in on this, and I know we make it fun, but you know, and I didn't want to lure anybody in on this, but I didn't want to announce this until right now. Now that shit's closed down. Look, if you gave 25 or more, I got you on a sticker pack. And if you gave like 50 or more, I got you on like a sticker pack with some extra goodies. And there's a couple of you guys that gave like 100, and
That's
then another
awesome.
cat that gave 250. I'm gonna get you guys like something even more special. I didn't want you guys to do it for like stickers and this and that and all
Personal
that bullshit.
gain. This is not for personal gain.
I just
And look at the treats you get.
Yeah, so but you know, looking over this thing, and before we pick this winner, I just wanted to let y'all know, anybody who gave 25 or more, I got you. You're getting a sticker pack. Period. 50 or more, I got you. Even like I said, like the extra packs that are in my store right now. Not to turn this into an ad, but there's a few of these if you want to buy one that's in my shop. MikeMason.BigCartel.com. But yeah, I know they come with 2 of these canes. Shit's lit. But no, for real, you guys ready to pick a winner? Is it time? Is it really time to do this?
It is.
All right. I don't see any additional entries sliding in. We're ready. Let's do this. Let's pick a winner.
Oh, hey, I see Heather in the magical ghost mirror today.
Oh, is that there? Wait.
Oh, no, there you go.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah.
Heather.
Look, oh, it is Heather.
Myself.
Look at that. There's Heather.
Across the room, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I got a ghost carry too, though. Oh. Feel like somebody's watching me. Whatever, right? Like, okay. All right, so
nice.
let's pull up random.org and let's actually do this, y'all. Like I said, there are 185 slots. So it is going to be 1 to 185. And yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to drag this out.
The clickety-clacks are rolling in already.
The clickety, is that what everybody's waiting for here? Everybody's waiting for this shit? Now, the thing is, guys, is that I wanted to show y'all what's new on the Patreon. No, I'm just fucking around. Let's all right, let's do this. Let's do this, y'all. All right, is everybody ready? Are we ready to find out who's going to motherfucking melt? Because this is a pretty big moment.
All right, everybody, grab your numbers, cross your fingers.
Yeah, everybody knows their number now, so it is what it is.
Should we all do a big countdown from 100?
We should. Well, no. Let's just get this shit done.
Bottles of beer. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Clickety clack. All right. 121. Let's pull up this bad boy and see who's going to fucking melt. All right. That is a Steve Leonberger. Steve Leonberger, man, you need to contact me immediately. That's what I'm seeing on the spreadsheet. So, yeah, dude, fuck yes. Congratulations, Playboy.
Congratulations, Steve.
Yeah.
A lot of disappointed people, I'm sure, but a lot of people are extremely excited for you. You are going to have the time of your life.
Yeah, dude, this is... Woo! Man, I'm so excited. Like I said, everybody on that list was super cool, and those of you guys, like I said, man, I didn't want to like make it some big thing, like give money and you get this too, but everybody who entered and dropped a little bit of loot is getting something, and fuck yes, man, what a thing to be able to attend. Melt is the fucking shit. I really appreciate all you guys who gave hard, but all I gotta say is, what's that, Carrie?
Oh, Bronze Tools just popped up with, you have got to be shitting me. So I'm wondering if that's who that was.
Is that him? Is that you, baby?
It could be.
All right, if that's you, man, mega congratulations. This is and I just want to take a moment to say thank you to all the Melt homies who make this possible for me and for all of us. Like they put a good bit of trust in me to run with the ball on this thing and do something good for the world and the community. And like I said, man, we did 17 the first year, 18 the next year, and we busted 27,000 this year.
7.
It means a lot that you guys all gave so hard. Like I said, man, I'm gonna do my best to take care of everybody who dropped a nice chunk. And I just appreciate all of you so much. This is the coolest fucking thing. And Steve, man, I'm just, dude. Like I said, I was talking about the guys who won before and what a beautiful, positive experience this was for them. I can't wait for this to be a beautiful, positive thing for you. Yeah, what a fucking awesome thing, man. I know some of y'all out there are like, damn it. But I'm sure
I'm doing that same thing for everybody that didn't win. I know.
What's
I'm
that?
so sorry. Oh,
yeah, right. I know. I wish everybody could win.
Everybody could win.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is, though. That's the random nature of the universe. The universe wanted Steve to be there, and yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yo, guys, man, yeah. I appreciate all y'all so much.
Tears in my eyes. And,
oh, Carrie, don't cry. I'm switching over to Heather so they don't have to see you.
Thank you.
Not me, anyone else.
Hell yeah. All right, yeah, guys. Yeah, man, I wanted to, man, I what else can I say? We did it. We did it, homies.
I'm so excited for him. He's going to have a great time. It's a huge blast, and enjoy every moment.
Right? Yeah, Steve,
you'll sleep when you get home.
It's going to be so good. Yeah, and guys, if you are now in the boat of having to buy a ticket, it's okay. Don't fret. It's worth every penny. Melt is sincerely fucking amazing. They haven't even, this isn't even a fully updated lineup. Salt is on here now. There's a ton of people on here. Bob Dog's coming. It's gonna be fucking awesome. The spectator level is fucking just $900, and that includes all your, they call it 3 meals a day, but there's always a late night meal. They're always rolling around the tent cooking burgers and fries and all sorts of stuff. Demos, seminars, late night snacks. Okay, they call it late night snacks. Whatever, but it's like hot dogs and hamburgers and everything that I ever called a meal. Everything at the camp. There's like a skate park, there's fishing, there's paddle boats. The torch tent, and it doesn't mean if you have this one you can't like use a torch. You know, you just have to
totally.
have
Some people, one person will buy a torch pass, and like 3 friends will buy the spectator pass, and then you guys all share a torch. And you know, somebody was saying if I went, I'd just sit in a corner. And you know what? Sitting in a corner is still a great experience because they've got the demo stage with bleachers. You've got what were there like 1, 2, 8, 9 like huge tables all set up with various torch workers. You can just sit there and camp out in front of them and watch them. Cafeteria area was all lit up. I don't know what they're doing up there this year, but they got rocking chairs to hang out in.
Yeah, and this was where this was the stage where they had set up like the main demos. So these were like the headline artists who were doing like, you know, generally full day builds, you know, with like an audience in attendance, you know, explaining everything, and you could treat it like a class and sit there all day and ask all the questions in the world, and then you can follow them to their torch space later and keep the class going if that's what you want to do. If you want to learn with one of these guys, Salt, for example, man, is super cool with anybody who wants to come up and watch him work or ask about something. Like, he brought, like, this big, giant Ziploc bag full of eyeballs the last time, and he was just throwing them on everybody's stuff. It was truly just a great time, and the learning alone is worth it. But, like, your lodging and everything is just included. It's so you got a BMX track.
Really?
Yes, it goes all around the property. If you watch let me see if we can find
What was it last year? The first night Sean had that party up at the his dope cabin with the bar and the
yeah, it was like, I don't think it was the first night, but it's one of those nights.
yeah, and then the last night there was the dodgeball tournament that went to like 4 in the morning or something. Crazy.
Yeah, if we pull up the beginning of this, you can kind of see the property, and so this is the lake. This is Independent Lake. There was like yoga classes that year. I don't know if they'll be there again, but hopefully. And John Knoll actually shot this, the guy who won that second year. So I put him to work. I was like, you better give me this drone footage. No,
Yeah,
I'm
so
just
Steve, when you
kidding.
get
He
there,
was happy to shoot it,
stuff for you to do. Yeah.
especially when the yoga girls were out. But anyway, so that's the mess hall, the soft glass truck there. That tent there on the left is the main stage tent we were just seeing demos from, and on the right is the torch tent where there's like over 100 spots set up. And
Yeah, it doesn't look as big from out here as it
well,
does.
I know, right? Everything looks so small from the sky.
Yeah.
But inside that tent, it's like, look at how many tents it is. It's multiple giant
You can
tents.
see Heather's station from right here.
Yeah.
I was right by that door.
Yeah, no, this was actually the year before, so
I know, but she was in that.
Oh,
spot.
okay.
yeah, but yeah, so and then look, see, but in the back there, I think is there, see the guys riding around on their bikes. There's me,
Oh
the
yeah.
younger, svelter me. Walk.
Back when Mike used to walk.
Yeah.
Now he
Yeah,
only
see, there's
thinks
like, there's
of-
that, I think that's the BMX trail in the back, though, or something, or I'm not
Okay.
certain exactly what frames the BMX trail, but it goes all around the property, and it's just an incredibly beautiful spot. I mean, I was up there helping upgrade the cabins,
Just gonna
and
say the cabins have been upgraded even more.
some of them, I mean, we upgraded
yeah.
a few. Over the next couple of years, we'll likely get them all done, and they're really nice. Like, they're all paneled out inside and such, but, the point being is that, like, it's just such a beautiful place, and being in a place like that with friends and such, like, I mean, we were working hard. And there's that saying that, like, if you enjoy what you do, it's like, you know, you'll never work a day, right? That's totally bullshit.
I was gonna say you work a lot.
You'll just work
Yeah,
every day.
The thing is,
at least.
the thing about that is that no matter what you do, there's generally some rigmarole involved, and especially after you've done it long enough, you know, it's like, the thrill is gone, whatever, that sort of thing.
Hey, now,
and-
come on, baby.
Well, you know, that's life, right? But the thing is, and I really came to this conclusion, you know, like, while we were up there working, because, yo, guys, we were busting our ass. It was like me, Whitefire Glass, fucking the homie John, fucking Julian, fucking Joe, all these homies who were up there chilling with us, and Kevin running the crew. We were busting ass. You guys would not believe how hard we worked. And, like, even some nights we were just in the pouring rain, you know, moving boards, doing crazy shit. But the thing is, we came to the conclusion that, and this is where I flipped that saying, you know, where it's like, well, if you like what you do, you'll never work a day. That's fucking stupid. You'll never work a day if you like the people that you're doing shit with.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I realized, you know, because we were up there working really hard. There was no glass to be melted, man. But I was up there with my glass homies. And, you know, I enjoyed the people I was with. And that just made it a beautiful time. And we were in this beautiful place. And that's how magical melt is, you know, that you don't even gotta be melting glass. That's just, you know, what we get to do together. But it's just a beautiful time at a beautiful spot. Awesome environment. And yeah, you know, even up there working, we had a great time. So, that's just, I don't know, maybe I'd like to have like a thought for the week or whatever. That's my thought for the week. I'll drop on you guys that, that that notion about if you enjoy what you do and all that, wrong. It's not about enjoying what you do. It's about finding the right people to do shit with.
So this looks like it was late night, and it's hard to tell, but all of those, like each of those tables has stations all the way around. And throughout the day, for the most part, most of those stations are occupied with people working, and
Yeah.
you can camp out next to them, and some of them are open to talking, I mean.
Yep, this is Kai Beck's spot here. He had a bunch of his amazing pendants out. You guys have gotten to see some of his work on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Friend to Glass Central Station, I'll put it that way. But yeah, he had a bunch of these amazing pieces out. His work is just really, really, really cool. Somewhat influenced by polymer, clay Millie, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like his girlfriend does really amazing stuff with that, and I'm like, I just feel like you can feel the influence, and he's a real innovator. He'll be there. There'll be so many amazing artists there that you can watch and learn from, and so yeah, this is Melt. This was Melt like the very first year when Micah Evans was there and just doing like crazy stuff, and all these cats were hanging around his bench. This is the tents are similar, but this is a significantly different internal layout. But it doesn't really matter for this purpose. But anyways, this was a show we did last year or whatever I put together with a bunch of random older footage, and let's see, here's the dog Topher. He made a really nice horn. You can pull this show up. It's up there. 1,600 cats watched it. But here he is doing. See, he's got that horn, and he's got it bridged on the end, doing it so that he can carve all those lines into the horn without it distorting. So if you ever want to do that type of carving and have these clean definitions on there without distorting the overall shape, it's that's there you go. But what I wanted to share next, I think I'd put in like a fun time lapse of the Melt tattoo. Did I? Where is it?
Oh,
No?
really?
I thought so.
Huh.
It was in one of the episodes. Maybe it was in like the pre-show or something. Or one of the other episodes. Oh, there it is. Hey, and there's John Bridges, our friend who likes bridging.
Or doesn't.
Who knows?
Still unclear.
No, he's his work involves this technique where he sleeves marbles and a layer after layer after layer. We have some footage of it actually from Melt. So if you look up here's from Melt 2017. And check this out. See how he's got like well, he's removed it here. See, there's a tube, and there's a little marble. The marble
Look at
gets
those bridges.
Yeah, see, there's Bridges. John Bridges, definitely. It's not just
Love
a fancy
Bridges.
name.
This is
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
I think that's why he came up with that name. He's not really John Bridges, but
This is John Bridges.
yeah.
This is a really cool thing, actually. See, he's got them bridged up so that he can. It's like encasing that opal, but you know what I mean. Imagine
Right.
if the opal had a post in the middle, keeping it centered, so that you could keep bringing tube around it evenly. So he does this over and over and over again with line tubing and then clear and then line tubing and then clear, and it gets these
Okay.
incredible patterns. So he was kind enough to let me stick a camera in his face for a minute here and share this. So, John Bridges definitely likes bridging. And yeah, if we go back just a little further here in between this John Bridges segment, where is it? Here's my dog. Okay, so check it out. This is the Tanuki Mario that Micro made that first year as part of his demo. And then here he is. This is my dog actually getting it. We both got our tattoos in the same place because he's my homie. And it just seemed like a convenient spot. So anyways, here it is. Check it out. This is how dope Melt is, man. A shitload of people have Melt tattoos, you guys, including myself. So
Me too.
Aw.
you got a Melt tattoo too, Heather? Really?
Which one do you have,
Yes.
Heather?
What? I didn't know
I
that.
got the scout badge.
All right. Is
that
it
they did last year.
is it in a place we
It's
can
like got
share?
It's on her ankle, so we
It's on
might
my
be able to have
it's
her
on my
show it
ankle,
again.
yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's close this bad boy and let's put it
All
up.
right,
Where?
let's-
All right,
nope, there it is. That's
Oh,
not
what?
there.
Oh, look at that! It's so cool.
Woo!
That's so tight. And yeah, guys, and then
I was like
That's
the only
cool.
one that got that one that year. It
I
was
like that.
definitely
That's
a
cool.
lot of fun.
that's great. Yeah, so check it out. That's the same one that I've got, though, you guys. There it is.
That's the same one Don Chili has too, right?
I don't know, but many of us got it. There were only so many options the first year, so many of the first year melt guys, it's like there's like this cone of influence they call it, and it's like why there's so many like stupid sequels to shit, because like one of like the theory is that like the cone of influence is like a cone of time, right? And like back in the thing is like all the old shows, the Honeymooners and all this and that, like the OG shows. You Leave It to Beaver, all that shit. And then you got shows like the further out you go, the less people know about shit, right? And then like so it's like less guaranteed that like the fucking amount of people. So that's what they call it. It's like this cone of influence, and that's why shit like Scooby-Doo, for example, is like way down in there. Because it's been around so damn long. Everybody knows about Scooby-Doo, so we're going to keep getting stupid Scooby-Doo movies till the end of fucking time. And, it's like, oh, great, another opportunity to see how far CGI dogs have come. Okay, and not to go in on Scooby-Doo or whatever, I'm just saying it's just an example of, like,
Somebody doesn't like Scooby.
Well, that's nothing against Scooby-Doo. It's just an example of, like, syndrome, like sequel syndrome. So yeah, not to get into a thing about that, but there's like a shitload of sequels out there. That's why.
Replace that with those yellow dudes with the Despicables.
Yeah, I mean, like look, well, that's a luck. They lucked out there, man. They were like, everybody loves stupid looking cartoon things. Well, yeah, done. But I mean, you look at like Transformers, all these things that they keep making sequels from. It's all because the cone of influence on it is way up there. So the more people, the older your thing is, the more people know about it, the easier it is to bank upon a sequel, be it made. Speaking of sequels, though, you guys, round 3 of Melt Away Hunger has been a tremendous success, thanks to y'all kicking in. I can't thank everybody enough who made this thing like a smashing fucking success, like for real. Like we went to 17 to 18 to 27,000 meals. And guys, Feeding America, we were joking about this earlier, like a super legit organization. These are not like fucking prison meals. This is a huge organization that uses their scale. Like they'll buy out a farm when the grain price is right, or this or that. Like they are huge, and they use that scale to deliver truly like fresh produce to food banks, this and that. Like this shit is right. They're a Charity Navigator, highly rated organization. And if you don't support them through this or like through the sticker packs or whatever, just consider them. Especially if you're like one of these responsible adults with like tax responsibilities and such, and you can offset those with donations, they are one of the most awesome organizations you could do that with. Like, give them all the extra money you can to get your thing back from them that you can then use to get that money back through your taxes. Why not? Like, they're super legitimate. They do really great work. So huge ups to Feeding America, and huge up to all you guys who supported it and made this thing possible. Like, it is just so nice to be able to do something really cool like this. And like I said, everybody who dropped 25 or more on that, I got a sticker pack, some kind of cool sticker pack coming out. And then the bigger the donations from there, I got you guys cool shit. I mean, I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but I'm gonna really take a look at that list and go through and get everybody who dropped a significant amount hooked up properly. And just I appreciate it. But I didn't want anybody to do it because they were gonna get something like that. I wanted to play out properly, and
yeah,
you guys played it out properly for real. Like, you guys played it out in a way that shows y'all really care. It's fucking awesome. So hell yeah. Again, huge thanks. I'm sorry, Carrie, go ahead.
I want you to definitely say your thanks and everything, but I was just gonna say on the way out, can we do like something fun where we do like 5 seconds of Vogue, like no words, just it goes from me to you to Heather, and we're doing some crazy like.
I think we need to coordinate that, but we can try. We can try. All right.
So yeah, thanks to all of you. Thanks. Carry on, Mike. What you were
Yeah,
saying.
well, no, I mean, I could probably just ramble on and on about that, but man, whew, we did it. Man, I know, I didn't know what was gonna happen when we started this thing. I had hoped we would come in around where we were at before, but the way y'all smashed it this year is just like, fuck yeah. Really appreciate it, man. This is such a nice thing to do together. I really appreciate you guys out there. I don't think there is really much else, guys. I did want to remind you, if you didn't catch Drew's talk earlier or me talking about this stuff, this Kickstarter for the Michigan Glass Project documentary is disgustingly close. Let's not let them down.
Wow.
Yeah,
In the last
like
day, that's really jumped. That's impressive.
it really has. They're so close. Let's see, maybe it's even. Yeah, there's 131 backers. They're so close.
Less than 7,000 to go out of a $27,000 goal. That's
Right.
pretty impressive.
And then, guys, look, this is not to get all dire about this, but this is an all or nothing deal. Like they have to get to this thing to get it
So
funded.
everybody donate so Mike gets his salt dabber.
I want my salt dabber, dogs. Don't
Basically,
fuck
is what he's
around.
saying.
Yeah, we gotta do it for me. No, but for real, you guys, there's 59 hours to go. If you can even give just a little bit, like I said, I got that salt dabber coming, but I tell you, let's upgrade. Let's manage our pledge. Can we upgrade?
My.
Is it possible to upgrade? Wait. Can I change my pledge? Can we upgrade?
I think your card expired is what it said.
Card expired?
I'm just playing.
What? All right, hold on.
Can you change it and still get the dabber?
I can upgrade to
you-
another dabber or a better dabber. Do you want 2 dabbers? Do you want a dabber too, Carrie? Could we just go to the eyeball dabber?
For all my CBD that I'm dabbing?
I don't. All right. I don't know. Did you want to do it too, Carrie, and get your own reward?
I might do it later. How's
Okay,
that?
so we'll just stay on this.
Yeah. I can't make that split. I haven't looked over this enough. I don't know what to. I
Yeah.
don't know what to pick. Like 3 teeth versus how many teeth does yours have?
0 teeth.
What?
I know. So I'm doing it.
All right.
I'm going
We
up,
need-
babies.
We need
I'm
3
going up.
teeth. Come on.
We gotta have the teeth. Okay.
A biggity. Whoa!
Boom. All right.
Look
So
at all
you
that
see,
confetti.
we just went up. Okay. I updated my pledge. I got the teeth coming, but I want my dabber with the teeth. So homies, you gotta help. That project is linked in the video description, and don't fuck around. Let's see if it'll change now if I refresh it. Ah, 20,767.
$20
Heroes do exist. No, but for real though, guys, I can't look at this, you guys. They gave $125,000 to this Art Road nonprofit, y'all,
That is amazing.
to help art stay in Detroit schools.
That is amazing.
That's
So
about- What's that? Go ahead.
I work with the Nebraska Arts Council, and there are actually federal grants that will help schools bring teaching artists into the schools. And a lot of time these schools have to have matching funds to bring in these artists with these grants. And that's actually pretty amazing. With like 125,000, can you imagine how many artists they could bring in to work with it? Like materials, especially if there's matching grant money. That's awesome. Really great.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
must say.
It is. Yeah, guys, this is a really cool fucking thing, so I won't take more of your time with that, but I can't encourage you guys to support this enough, and if you can't support it, though, pull this shit up and hit that share button. Like, maybe somebody you know might be able to support, so you don't necessarily have to be able to get a salt dabber, even though I want my salt dabber, but... For real, guys, pop up on this bad boy and hit that share button, even if you can't donate, and help them, man, for real. Like, this is a cool fucking thing, and they're gonna make a beautiful documentary that is gonna simply show pipe makers in the best light possible. I think that's a beautiful cause, and what they've done is a beautiful cause, and that will help them keep doing this and doing it bigger and better. So what else to do if not support something awesome like this? So even if it's just a little bit, man, help them. They've got 59 hours. They're so close. Look at this. There is room to keep going. So yeah, that's about what I got to say there. Are y'all ready to vogue?
Mm-hmm. You ready,
All right.
Heather?
Okay.
All right, so silent vogue on the way out, so everybody's thanks are in. Thanks
it-
everybody for joining us.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks
you,
everybody.
everyone.
Yeah, Heather, you can give yours. Tell them thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining me and watching me build my little elephant at Melt. And I hope everyone who goes to Melt has a wonderful time, and congratulations to the winner. And thank you for everyone for donating families and food.
Yeah, Heather, thank you so much for letting us film that and joining us to narrate it.
Joining us tonight too. So
Yeah,
much fun.
you added so many cool little tips that I wouldn't have been able to add to that, and it was just great to have you. And thanks for supporting the giveaway too. Yeah, you're great. I really can't wait to kick it again. So fuck yes, thank you. Carrie, thank
Awesome,
you
thank
for
you,
being
guys.
here. Oh yeah, of course. Carrie, thank you for being here and
Of course.
adding some great jokes to and all that. You're awesome.
I do what I can.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you're
Hell
awesome
yeah.
too, baby.
And guys, I really appreciate y'all out there. So I'm gonna send it off for a little Vogue, and then we're gonna bid y'all good night. So.